guys, real quick, something's kind of been popping up here locally, and maybe in your area as well, and it's probably due to the economy, and people are probably trying to take advantage of it, is these local companies, or we'll call them companies, doing a weekend or a week-long CNA or phlebotomy class. There are also other various programs out there, but I'm going to kind of focus on these two because these are the two that I see mostly. Most of the time, these are two that I see. And it'll be just a little road sign, just a little bitty sign, almost like a politician sign that you see on the side of the road, and it'll say, "Become a phlebotomist in a weekend," or "Discover your CNA this week," or something like that, and have a little phone number. And these programs, how they work and exactly what they're doing. So, I did not go to any of these programs. I do know people that did go to programs like this. I have stated before that I went back to school during the Great Recession. I lost my job in 2008. In September of 2008, I lost my job. I went back to school, became a nurse soon thereafter. I did not go to a CNA program like this. I went to a CNA program through my local community college. I believe it was 158 class hours, and I did mine at nights. And a lot of people do that, and I highly recommend doing it that way, because once you graduate your community college program or an accredited program, there are accredited programs that are not through community colleges, you get like a code or a password or some sort of way to sign into your state's licensure program for your programs. If it's phlebotomy or if it's CNA, you get some sort of way to sign into that program and say, "Hey, look, I did 158 credit hours," or however many credit hours you have to have in your state. "Now I'm ready to take my exam." And then the state sends you somewhere, you take your exam, and you become a CNA or a phlebotomist. I became a CNA, and this program was fairly easy. It really didn't cost me very much. I want to say I paid like $130. Of course, the recession was going on, and I think rates were kind of cut at the time. But I did it that way, and I encourage everyone to do it that way because it is an accredited program. These road signs that you see, these programs, how they work, they're not accredited, or at least locally, and maybe in your area they are accredited, but locally these places are not accredited. What they're doing is they're giving you material that you could probably get offline yourself, and basically giving you a bunch of practice exams and a pamphlet on how to do something with no sort of clinical experience at all. Basically, they're giving you a pamphlet that says how to take the test, and that's it. And then you yourself challenge the state exam, which you can do in certain programs such as CNA and phlebotomy. At least here in North Carolina, your local state may be different, but mine, you can challenge the state exam for a CNA or a phlebotomist. Now, you may run into some issues after you challenge these exams. And I went to nursing school with a girl who went through one of these programs, who then had to go back and retake her entire CNA program because she was not accredited, and the nursing school would not let her in. If you feel the need to further your education, these programs are not your friend. If you feel the need to just stay a CNA or a phlebotomist, maybe these programs will work out for you. Like I said, I believe I paid $130 for my program. Granted, this was 12 years ago and the Great Recession was going on. I don't think it's really increased a whole lot since then. I just did a video on becoming a farm tech, and I think it's $200 now for your CNA program at my local community college. So that's a difference of $70, so it's still not a whole lot. The program I looked up today for your CNA is $450. 2.5 times the amount for a program that you have to challenge the exam on at the end of. You're not given the code that I was given. You're not given the certificate that says accredited CNA program graduate, or not really graduate, but I completed an accredited CNA program. You're not given that certificate. I don't really necessarily know that a nursing home that needs staff now is going to look at that, but there may be programs or career possibilities that do look at your accreditation and do look at where you took your CNA program, maybe even your phlebotomy program. I'm not sure if the need is there. They may not look and they may not care, but if the need isn't there and they've got the time, maybe they will look for these accredited programs, who graduated from these accredited programs. I had to bring in my transcripts. I got a job at the hospital, and I had to bring in my transcripts to that job at the hospital to kind of let them know, hey, look, I did actually complete this program. And they may or may not have held that against me, or they may not have helped me when I got the job, but I still had to show them, look, I went to my local community college and I took my accredited CNA program. So you're paying 2.5 times the amount, at least locally, that you would be paying for your CNA program, really just to kind of get through it in a week or a weekend with no clinical experience. And I will highly suggest clinical experience. Yes, I probably did more than enough clinical experience, but that's okay. I think my program was 158 credit hours. I want to say I went in maybe August, probably August, and I think I finished the end of November or the end of October, somewhere around in there. So yes, it is a lot longer of a time frame, and I did go at night, so that didn't help me, but I still had so much more experience coming into my job as a CNA than you'll have just having that weekend class. You will have no clinical experience, and you're going to have to learn everything on the job. So you already have to pay 2.5 times the amount that I had to pay. Well, now you get no clinical experience doing this, and this is really going to hurt, especially in phlebotomy, as sometimes, and nurses, you should know, these veins can hide. Phlebotomists, you need that training to know where to find these veins. I know it's kind of a basic anatomy and physiology course, but still, you need that. So you get 2.5 times the amount, no clinical experience, and you have to challenge the exam after you're done with your class, I'll call it. These programs may work for some. I will tell you to stay away from these programs, as these programs are making someone else money, as someone else is getting this material. They may have legit material. They may be just downloading stuff off Google and passing it off as their own, and you have no idea. These programs aren't accredited, but if you take one, please do your research. Look to see if these programs are legit. Look to see if they have a success rate. The first thing that my CNA program told me was we have a 96% pass hire rate within the first month, or something like that. And so definitely worth my time and worth my while. Hope it helps. Thank you much.